Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Coconut Colada. Now, I did purchase this candle, gosh, probably back in early February. And this is one of the fragrances that is part of the current Mother's Day buy one, get one free sale. This is a large 2-wick vessel. Normally, these retail for $31. So, if you are participating in that sale at the time that I am filming this review, this one is still showing as being in stock. However, you guys, I do film a lot of these things a couple of days before I plan to upload them. So I hope that this one will still be in stock by the time that I upload this video. But wanted to get it out for you guys because this is one of the fragrances that has actually been around for quite some time in the country candle lineup. We know about a year ago, Kringle Candle did start phasing out the country candle line, and some fragrances did make the cut to go ahead and move over into the Kringle like tumbler lineup. Other ones sadly went goodbye. But this is a fragrance that I initially smelled a couple of years ago in a daylight. But at that time, country candle was still kind of in like a paraffin formula. And I personally don't care for paraffin wax. So I thought, well, if they ever, bring it over to the 100% soy line, I am one of those people that I feel like I have more success in my home with the Kringle lineup than I ever really did with the country candle lineup. Something about the colored wax, I feel like just, I don't know, I feel like not all of the candles performed really well in my home. They struggled a little bit. Um, so I'm happy that, this is one that moved over because I know that this is a favorite summertime fragrance for a lot of people. I know a lot of people were excited to see it. And I've never done a review on the, country variation. So I figure why not? Let's go ahead and put one up here for us to have on record. And I felt like the timing was perfect because like I said, we're getting ready to head into summer and we do have a current sale going on with this candle. If I haven't already mentioned this is 100% soy wax. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this one. We have fragrance notes are listed as top notes of pineapple, citrus cocktail, mid notes of coconut, and a base note of musk. Now, this candle that I am reviewing has a pour date of October 15th, 2025. So this was poured a little over 6 months ago. Did want to let you guys know too, as I'm filming this review, I have my mic on, so it might be, drowning it out. But if you hear a little bit of rustling in the background, my daughter is currently making herself some brunch, I would say, because it's the time of day where we're kind of between breakfast and lunch. So anyways, if you hear a little bit of rustling in the background, I promise there's no mice or anything like that right behind me. It is just my daughter. It is just Paisley trying to feed herself. So, all right, you guys, let's talk about this candle. This is definitely definitely a tropical fruity drink vibe type of scent, which I know a lot of people right now are still really just experiencing spring, right? It's just late April. But where I live, it is already starting to feel not quite summer for Arizona, but we're having temperatures in the low 80s, anywhere between 80 and 90 degrees, which I know for most people is summer like. And so therefore, I am starting to burn quite a few summer candles. Now, this fragrance definitely, I feel like the picture here on the label is definitely reminiscent of what my nose is smelling. Now, this is definitely more sweet. This is a sweeter take. Last week I talked about the coconut pineapple fragrance from Kringle. This is definitely a sweeter version, I would say, of a tropical drink. I mentioned in that when I kind of touched on that one in the Friday Five, that had more like creamy coconut, toned down pineapple elements. Whereas I feel like this fragrance is definitely more, you get that pineapple and citrus cocktail right away. Like this is not as creamy to my nose. This is a little bit of a more, the notes that are like the best way that I would describe it is that this is definitely a more pungent, fruity cocktail. You get that sweetness, almost like syrupy sweetness that you would get in a cocktail drink. That is definitely prominent here. And it makes sense, right? Because the top notes are listed as pineapple and a citrus cocktail. The citrus cocktail in here, this is not overly like orange or lemon or anything, but there is a sweetness and maybe a little bit of tanginess to this one on the top, again, blended with that pineapple note. Is this overwhelming? Like, oh man, all I'm smelling is pineapple? No, no, it's not. I feel like it's, again, the pineapple is there. You get some of that, like, I guess the only word that I can say is like sharpness that sometimes people find polarizing with a pineapple scent. You do get that in here, but it's very, this fragrance to me is more sweet and syrupy, like a tropical drink, as opposed to, like I said, that coconut pineapple is more creamy. It's more of like a creamy pina colada type of scent. I feel like that one is actually more reminiscent of an actual well done pina colada, minus the boozy notes. The thing I will say for this fragrance and also the coconut pineapple, I don't detect any boozy notes in there. So if that's something that you're concerned about when you see like a cocktail type of drink, I don't detect anything boozy. So it's just really more so like the syrupy aspects. But if you're kind of wanting a comparison between the two, that's what I would say. If you're somebody who wants more sweet, syrupy cocktail notes, then you're going to want to go with this one. But truthfully, you guys, since both of those candles are part of the buy one, get one free, I personally really like burning them together. I think that they make a great combination. I also really like, I know that it's not in the BOGO. I know that it is sold out. I'm not sure if it's still in stock in a 4-wick. But this pairs beautifully with Sea Breeze. Those of you who love Sea Breeze from Kringle in the summertime, beautiful, beautiful pairing. I did a review the other day on another brand, the Caramel Sundays Sandbar, and one of my favorite, like my tropical drink vibe that I have going on in my house when I am burning this is I will put Sea Breeze out in the living room, and I'll put coconut colada on one end of the house, and I'll put Sandbar on the other. And I feel like I am on the Caribbean cruise that I am preparing to take in about another month. But this one is done very, very well, you guys. It's definitely, again, those fruity cocktail types of vibes. So if you like that, then I think that this is a pretty safe bet for you. Now, the performance on this candle, I'm going to go ahead and turn it around here a little bit. You can see wicks are performing quite well for me. I'm not having any issues with dudding out wicks. Everything has been burning quite well for me. I've had this candle lit probably about 2 hours now, I would say. Nice deep wax pool, not too deep, but nice, nice enough where we can get some throw. I do burn my candles in hurricanes. I will say that this candle for me is about like a 7.5 in terms of strength and throw. And truthfully, you guys, I actually think that that is perfect for this fragrance profile, because I think if it were to be any stronger, I feel like it would be cloying. I feel like it would be too sweet because, again, I just keep saying this is very sugary, syrupy cocktail type of drink. And for my nose personally, that would get to be a little bit too much. That is also why I like pairing this with a more quote unquote neutral coconut scent. I also like burning this with Caramel Sundays Key West coconut. I feel like that kind of helps tone it down. If you caught my Sandbar review, I kind of mentioned the same type of thing where I like burning a lot of these really sweet, fruity candles with something that feels a little bit more neutral to kind of just maybe like balance out my fragrance palette as I move throughout my house. But yeah, this one, it's a beautiful scent. But again, strength and throw on this, I'm going to give it probably about a 7.5. I can definitely smell it out in the open concept, but it's not going to overly smack me in the face. If I burn it for a longer period of time, I do find that it intensifies a little bit more. But again, not to the point where I feel like I need to extinguish it. Whereas like say Caramel Sunday Sandbar, I do feel like I have to blow it out after about 4 hours. It does get a little bit too strong for me, but that is also because it has a mango note in it. And I've talked to you guys about how mango, my nose can be a little funny with mango notes at times. But this one, really, really well done. I definitely recommend it in in the Mother's Day sale if it's still around, especially at a 50% off. I mean, you're talking $15.50. I'm not sure if rewards are stacking with this sale. I do have an affiliate discount code with Kringle, Katie15. It'll save you money on your route shipping, or if you are throwing in, say, a reserve candle or a 4-wick, the 15% won't apply to anything that's already on sale. But if you're throwing in a full priced item to kind of save money on the shipping costs, then it will apply to that. But overall, you guys, this one does get 2 thumbs up for me. I'm glad to see that it made the switch over. So let me know in the comment section down below if you're familiar with this fragrance. Is this one that you have had in the past in the country format? Are you glad to see it in Kringle? Is this one that you're excited to burn this summer? I would be curious to know. So please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.